first, you minus it by 5.
So then we get 3x is less than 9. Then we,
Divide by 8.
and we get x is less than 3. So that's your solution. Your number line, you need a 3 somewhere. And then your other numbers. Open or close circle?
Open.
Going to the left. All right. And who can tell me what to do for number 2? Esther?
Minus 2 is 52.
So that would be a 50. And then,
Divide.
so when you divide by a negative, what happens?
It's
Mm-hmm.
opposite. Whatever.
And that would be a negative
10.
Okay, so we need negative 10. Getting bigger. Getting smaller. Open or close circle at negative 10.
Close.
Going to the
Left.
all right, who can walk me through number 3? Tell me what I need to do. Holden?
Minus 11.
Okay, so we have x divided by negative 2 is less than or equal to 4. And then what do we do?
Times a negative 2.
And when you multiply by the negative, what happens?
So
Okay, so x is greater than or equal to negative 8 is our answer. So we need our negative 8. Getting smaller, getting bigger. Open or closed? Going to the
right.
perfect. All right, I know we're going through these kind of quickly. Is everybody doing okay on them so far? Making corrections if needed? All right, who can tell me what to do with number 4?
Plus 1.
So we get 4x is less than or equal to negative 36. And then,
Divide by 4.
does the sign flip?
No.
No, because it's a positive. So x is less than or equal to negative 9. Okay. So that would be a closed circle at negative 9 going to the left. All right. Who wants number 5? Going once, going twice. Noah, you get it. What do I do?
Add 1.
Okay, so we get 5 eighths x is less than or equal to 10. How do we get rid of this 5 eighths? You can multiply by the reciprocal, 8 over 5. So these cancel. We just get x is less than or equal to 16. Okay. Open or close circle. And going to the left. All right, last one of this first chunk of problems that we're going over. Number 6. Does anyone want it? All right. Keaton, tell me what I do.
Minus 4.
So we have negative x over 7 is less than 1. Then what do we do?
Minus 7.
Let's go ahead and do negative 7. We'll get rid of both problems at once. Since I multiplied by a negative, what happens to my sign?
It goes to negative.
Yep, this becomes a negative and the inequality flips. So greater than negative 7. Open or close circle? Open if there's not an equal to, and it's greater, so going to the right. Okay, so if you didn't have those done, or you didn't have them correct, everyone should have them now. Are there any questions on 1 through 6? Okay, I'm going to stop discussing for a minute. You guys are going to have some time to work.
Minus 18.
Okay. So we have negative 2x is greater than negative 14, and then,
Divided by 2.
and when you divide by -2, what happens? So x is less than 7. So set up your number line, open or close circle, and going to the left. Alright. Number 8. Kale, can you help me with that one?
1 and 2.
So we have -3/2 x is greater than or equal to -21. How would we get rid of the -3/2? Divide by -3/2. If you put that in your calculator, just make sure that you put parentheses around the -3/2. The other option is to multiply by the reciprocal. Since you divided by a negative, what happens to your inequality? Flips. And this turns out to give us 14. So x is less than or equal to 14. Open or close circle. And going to the left or right? Less than is to the left. Alright. Number 9. Jetta, can you help me with that one?
We do 2 times x and 1 times 3.
Distribute that 2, so we get 2x plus 6 is greater than or equal to
4x.
8. And then what did you do?
Subtract 4.
Okay.
X.
Subtract 4x. So that gives me a -2x plus 6 greater than or equal to -4. And we can then subtract over our 6. So -2x greater than or equal to -10. And then what do we do?
Divide.
And if you divide by a negative, what happens?
Flip.
X is less than or equal to 5. So we start at 5. Put some other numbers on your number line. Open or closed?
Open. Close.
Yeah, equal to means close. If it has an extra line, you close it. And that is going to the left because it's less than. Alright. Are we okay with that one? Claire, could you tell me the first step for problem 10? Good. So if we distribute that to, we have 5x plus 24 is greater than 2x minus 18 minus 3x. Alright, one problem I've noticed is combining like terms. Think about this way. Okay, this inequality, if I draw a line here, those are the two sides of my equation. If they're on the same side, then I can just put them together. When I have the 2x and -3x, I'm not moving it to the other side, so I don't have to add 3x. I'm just combining those like terms. So 2 and -3 is a -1. Then, if I want to move this to the other side, what would I have to do, Blair? If I want to move my -x? Well, it's like a -1, so to move it over, we would have to. The opposite of a subtracting is an adding. So we add our 1x. So we get 6x plus 24 is greater than -18. How do I move my plus 24 over? So we get 6x is greater than negative 42. When we divide by 6, because 6 is positive, it does not flip. So we get x is greater than negative 7. Will it be open or closed? Open, because there's no equal to, and greater than goes to the right. Thank you. Number 11. Anybody really want it? Gabe?
First you distribute negative 9.
So we get negative 9x plus 45 plus 9 is less than 3x plus 42. Okay,
And then you will, the plus 9 and the plus 45 will combine.
right, they're on the same side, so we just combine them. So that's a plus 54. Alright, then what?
Subtract the 3x.
So we have negative 12x plus 54 is less than 42.
Subtract the 54.
So negative 12x is less than negative 12. When we divide by a negative, what happens?
Flips.
So x is greater than 1. Open or closed?
Open.
And going to the right. Okay, number 12. Anybody want it? Hold.
Distribute the 2.
So we get 2x plus 2 is less than or equal to negative 13 minus 3x. And then,
Subtract from the 2.
okay, so bring that 2 over. 2x is less than or equal to negative 15 minus 3x.
And add the 3x over.
Good. So we get 5x is less than or equal to negative 15. Does it flip? No, because we divided by a positive. So less than or equal to negative 3. Open or closed? And going to the left. Alright. Let's work on the next chunk. So, flip your page. If you haven't volunteered yet, you will be getting called on this page. So think about if you want to volunteer for a specific one. So I'll give you a few minutes and then we'll start talking. Riley, tell me what I did. It's like 2 separate problems we're solving. So in this one, we get negative 4x is greater than 16. When I divide by negative, it so we get x is less than negative 4. Or so 8x is greater than 16. X is greater than 2. So that's my solution. Less than negative 4 or greater than 2. So we need to include those on our number line. You don't have to count by 1, so I'm just going to count by 2s, I think. Or you could certainly add more points if you wanted to. Less than negative 4, would that be open or closed? Open and going to the left. Greater than 2 would be and going to the right. So remember, these ors, we expect 2 separate pieces going opposite directions. Okay. Number 14. Okay. Tell me what I did here. Sure. We have 2 separate problems. What do I do on this one? So we have negative 2x is less than negative 16, and then we And if you divide by a negative, what happens?
It changes.
So we have x is greater than 8. Or, now we solve this one, so how do I get x by itself?
No, I just,
So then I have negative 1x, or negative x is greater than or equal to 3. How do I get rid of the negative?
divide.
And if you divide by a negative, it flips. Okay, so we get x is greater than 8, or less than or equal to negative 3. So again, you don't have to count by ones. I'm just going to do maybe 3s. I need to shuffle my points down, don't I? And you can add in more points if you prefer. Okay, greater than 8, so that would be about right here. Greater than goes to the right, open because it wasn't equal to. Less than or equal to negative 3, open or closed? Open or closed? Has an equal to,
It's close.
closed. And going to the,
Left.
because it's an or, we expect the opposite directions here. Alright. Number 15. Nicole, can you tell me what to do here?
Subtract the 5 from this.
Good. Both sides. So negative 36 is less than 9x is less than 27. And then
Divide by
when it's set up like this, we are expecting our answer to just be in between 2 points. So, I'm just going to count by 4s here. Saying negative 4 is less than x is less than 3. Open or close circles?
open.
Both open at negative 4 and 3 and saying x is between them. So it just looks like that. All right. Number 16. Everybody's fair game again. We've been through the list. Who wants number 16? Alright. The lucky one is Kylie. What do we do? Mhm. Okay, so we get negative 14, less than or equal to 2x, less than 4, and then
Divide by 2.
so negative 7, less than or equal to x is less than 2. So in between 2 points, open or closed at negative 7?
Open.
At the negative 7, that one had my equal to, so that one is the closed. But the 2 is open, and then it's just in between those. Okay. Number 17. Now we get into the absolute values. Julius, can you tell me, is this an and or an or? Remember our less than or great or. So, this is great or, so an or. So, with the ors, 2 pieces. First one, nothing changes. What do we do on the second one? Flip your inequality and make it a negative 6. So now we're just solving 2 ors, just like we were doing on problems 13 and 14. We expect 2 separate answers. So to solve this, we subtract our 8. So we get 2x is greater than or equal to negative 2. Divide our 2, so x is greater than or equal to negative 1. Over here, 2x is less than or equal to negative 14. Divide by 2. So x is less than or equal to negative 7. So to graph this. So less than, or sorry, greater than or equal to -1, would that be open or closed? And going to the right. Less than or equal to -7 would be closed, going to the left. Alright, so great or two separate ones. Alright, work on the next few problems, please. So I definitely want to hit this today. And we will look at these again tomorrow. Kale, can you tell me on 18, is this an and or an or? And. Less than is an and. How do we set up ands?
With the 35, but opposite, so -35 on the other side.
Good. We make the one big problem because it's an and, it's in between two numbers. We put it in between the positive and the negative. So now how do I solve for x? To get rid of the +7, we do it on both ends. So -42 is less than 7x is less than 28. And then we divide everything by 7. So we get -6 is less than x is less than 4. Okay. So on our graph, again, you can count by something. I'll count by 3s. You can add more tick marks if you need to. So starting at -6, open or closed? Open because it's not equal to. Ending at 4, and that's still open. Just in between the two. Alright. Number 19. Gabe, before I get my rewrite the problem without absolute values, what do I have to do?
Subtract 22.
So we get the absolute value of 5x plus 5 is greater than 35. So now, greater than is an and or?
Is an and.
Great or.
Oh, yeah.
This is an or. So how do we set up the or problems?
Two separate ones.
So the first one, we just drop the absolute value. Or for the second one, what do we do? Like we
Oh,
did.
wait, we're gonna flip it and turn it into a negative.
So now we solve each of these. So we subtract our 5. 5x is greater than 30. 5 by 6. So x is greater than 5. Or, over here, 5x is less than -40. Divide by 5. X is less than -8. So ors, two separate directions. I'm going to count by 3s and just add on to my number line a little bit. So greater than 5 would be an open circle at 5 going to the right. Less than -8 would be an open circle at -8 and going to the left. So
Did you get 6?
Because I was thinking ahead to the answer and wrote the wrong thing, didn't I? Thank you. Let's fix that. We divided by 5, and my answer is 6. I flipped my 5 and my 6 when I wrote down. Thank you. So greater than 6. All right. Problem 20. So it's another absolute value. Just like the previous ones, we have numbers outside the absolute value. So we have to get it by itself first. Bailey, can you tell me what I do first?
Plus 7.
Okay. So we have 2 times the absolute value of x minus 4. It's less than or equal to 8. Okay, then we need to do what to get rid of this 2? Divide by 2. So the absolute value of x minus 4 is less than or equal to 4. So when I see less than, is this an and or an or? And. How do we set up the ands? So -4 less than or equal to x minus 4 less than or equal to 4. So then to solve it, what do we do? It's, what's the opposite of subtracting 4? Okay, so we get 0 is less than or equal to x is less than or equal to 8. So ands, it's always in between 2 numbers. Okay, equal to means open or closed. Close. So we have a closed circle at 0, closed circle at 8. We are just shading in between those 2 numbers. All right. Any questions there? These last ones, we are not solving anything, we are just writing an inequality. So, who wants to help me out with number 21? All right, Esther. 6 less than. What does less than mean?
Subtract.
And is it 6 minus or minus 6?
6 minus 6.
Yeah, less than is one of those turnaround phrases. So we do something minus 6. Twice a number would be
2x.
2x or n or whatever your favorite letter is at most. At most means it cannot be any more than that, so it is less than
or equal to.
Good. And we don't have to solve these, we just have to set them up. Okay. Jetta, number 22. A number. So what do I write for a number? X. Is less than, and then 24. That one wasn't a whole lot. Okay. 23. Okay. A minimum number of 3. So what does that mean?
X. The arrow. That way, yeah. And then 3.
Okay. The minimum is 3. So that means it can be 3 or more. So x is greater than or equal to 3. All right. 24, a speed limit of 65. So if we think about our variable, okay, can you drive the speed limit? Can I drive 65?
Yeah,
Yes. Can I go more than 65?
no.
Less than or equal to 65 for the law-abiding citizens in here. All right, and 25. 12 more than. What does more than mean? Adding. So we're adding 12. Does it matter if I put 12 plus or something plus 12? No, when we add, order doesn't matter. 12 more than a number. So for the number I put x is at least. What does at least mean?
Greater than or equal to.
18 decreased by means
Subtract.
a number. So 18 minus x. All right, everybody should have a completed study guide now. I'm not collecting them yet. I will. Tomorrow we are going to do some